And Megyn Kelly saying she's on a knee apologizing because she's white, she's acknowledging the reverse DEI that no one wants to talk about. She has a privilege. She has been in this league for a year? And she makes more money than the people who built this league, and she understands there's a reason, not because she shoots the ball well.
Now, what she just said, you would have to be a disingenuous individual to listen to that and say, no, she's bending the knee and doing this woke stuff and just hates herself. Like, no. All right, so when it comes to the WNBA, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't watch it. I don't even watch any other sport, football, basketball. I used to be a hardcore Denver Bronco fan, but just slowly started not watching it just because it wasn't entertaining anymore. But nevertheless, when it comes to sports, it is a sport to where race doesn't matter, and that's obvious. Just because you're white or black doesn't make you shoot the ball or throw a football better than anyone else. Like, that's purely on skill and training and just how devoted you are to that sport. But when it comes to race and a particular sport such as women's basketball, I'm no idiot. I'm not stupid. Even though I don't watch WNBA games, it has been historically a black dominated sport, almost like the NBA. But when it comes to the individual Caitlin Clark, which if I've heard of that individual, that means she's doing good. And I seen a few highlights probably like a few months ago, and she's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve to get the accolades or the attention for being a good player. That's what happens when you're good. But she made a statement to where now a lot of Republicans and those type of individuals, I'm pretty sure Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens are going to make a video about this real soon. But when she's paying homage to the individuals of color that had kept up the sport, that have been putting in the time, the sweat and the tears and the blood to continue to make the WNBA a thing. Because 9 times out of 10, if it wasn't for those individuals, there would be no women's basketball. Let's be honest. But it is nothing wrong with paying homage to those who have put in the time, so now you can benefit and continue to build off that foundation. That's not a controversial thing. But of course, when it's a white person paying homage to any person of color for any reason, of course, the racist white individuals are going to find a problem about that, which leads us to our video. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
It's really interesting because since she came into the league, we have to talk about the attention that she has received. She's a phenomenal player. I've never seen anybody shoot the ball the way she shoots the ball in the WNBA. I'm just being honest. She, early on in her collegiate career, reminded me of Steph Curry, and that's where all this attention came from. But before she entered a league that started in 1997, there were the Lisa Leslies and the Dawn Staleys and the Cheryl Swoops of it all who really built this league, and they weren't getting the attention because, let's face it, the league was built in a way in which it wasn't mainstream. And all she's simply saying is that I want to respect those who come before me. Now, conservatives do one of two things that I am so fascinated with, especially when it comes to her. Either they whine or they bully. So now it's time to do both. They're bullying her when she decides to just like a post about Taylor Swift post about Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala Harris. They
endorsing
unfollow her,
voting,
like saying go vote, and then they unfollow her in droves. And then she says, you know what? I am so grateful for all this money I make. I'm making more money than most of these women will ever see in their lifetime because I am a great player, but I'm also someone that they are using as their message person, that they are using me as a conduit to get their message out. And she says, no, I don't want any of that. I'm grateful, and hopefully I can shine some attention on Bakari because no one's paying attention to Bakari. And so I'm going to give Bakari some attention because you know what? Thank you for keeping this league alive, Bakari. Everything that you've done has really got to the point where I can be here and benefit in this moment. And Megyn Kelly saying she's on a knee apologizing because she's white, she's acknowledging the reverse DEI that no one wants to talk about. She has a privilege. She has been in this league for a year, and she makes more money than the people who built this league, and she understands there's a reason, not because she shoots the ball well.
Now, what she just said, you would have to be a disingenuous individual to listen to that and say, no, she's bending the knee and doing this woke stuff and just hates herself. Like, no, it is okay to admit, like, hey, this has been a sport that's been carried by black folks, and I step in with my skill, and I know I'm white, so let me just do my part and pay that homage. Just like Eminem. If you listen to rap, Eminem didn't build rap. He didn't build the fundamentals of gangster music, rap music. That was way before he was even born. You know what I'm saying? But he came in, great skilled, great artist, and he's built a name on himself, but he would never disrespect those who came before him because that's not how this works, but let's go ahead and just listen to this idiot just for the sake of arguing. I know deep down in his heart, he does not care about women's basketball, let alone women's sports in general, but he's paid to take these positions. In those kind of individuals, you can never come to a resolve or an understanding on anything because it's not his job to come to an agreement with anyone. So let's take a listen.
Yes, that also helps. But there's another reason, Scott. There's a reason that says I'm white and it's a privilege and people love me. And I'm okay with that, but I want to also acknowledge everyone else. Why is she being bullied?
Why is that wrong?
Why is she being bullied for acknowledging something that's smart, truth, and factual?
Well, a couple things. Number one, whether you're an athlete or anyone else, if I hear you use the phrase "my truth," I immediately then discount everything else you say because there isn't my truth or your truth. There's just the truth. And when you
Okay, so once again, at least in my understanding and remembrance, is Kellyanne Conway, I think her name is, when she coined the phrase alternative truths on like CNN, this was like when Trump was first running. That's, at least in my perspective, that's when that originated, and everyone started having their own like alternative truth. So if he's playing by his own rules, he would not be a Republican. That's literally their motto, is what my truth, that's what I believe. So once again, that's a lot of bull. So let's continue.
You start using phrases like that, it tells me that
That's not true.
Your brain has been captured by something that I don't really respect.
That's not true.
Number two.
That's not true.
Number two, the attention the league got this year was amazing, and it was all because of her. She is an amazing player. The arenas were full when she played in them. The TV ratings were up when she was on television. That's undeniable. But the league still lost like $40 million this year. And it's never made money. And to me, when you're talking about respecting people who built something, what did they build? A league that loses money every year? She has the capacity.
What do you mean, what did they build? What do you mean, what did they build?
What kind of a business did they build?
They've had a business.
Wow. See, and this is someone who just doesn't understand logic. Not everything has to be calculated by numbers. Not everything has to be a profit margin for it to be something to build towards. That's a lot of people's business understanding. And when it comes to a sport, to where Caitlyn can thrive and make money, it took people before that to make that even happen for her today. Just like you say, she's only been in the game for like a year, give or take. There was women basketball before and before that. So once again, don't disrespect those who came before you just because it's not profitable. She's making money. So I don't care what numbers he's talking about. She, as an individual, is making money and can possibly make a career in other avenues and opportunities off this sport. So once again, who are you trying to play? Because you ain't playing me.
Model that has allowed women who have never had a professional sport here in America, in the United States of America, to play. They've kept it alive as opposed to sending them overseas. That's what she's built. That's what they've built.
This is the problem with the conversation about race in this country that we've never tackled. Because there are two things fundamentally wrong with what Scott said. The first is when you say things like my truth, right? And you just tune that out. My truth is just vastly different than yours. It's not just.
And to me, you don't even have to label it truth, because when people start using that word a little loosely, people get confused. It's just your perspective, your opinion. That is okay. You can have your own opinion and perspective about something, and it can not interfere with truth. Just because you never met a racist person, a literal KKK member, doesn't mean they don't exist. So two things can be true at once. You never met a KKK, but trust me, go to some sundown towns, and I guarantee you'll find out real quick. You know what I'm saying? So once again, we just need to kind of clarify our language here when we're using the word truth. And once again, I'm pretty sure if you explain that to him at this moment, he still wouldn't care, because he's not paid to understand and have a conversation. He's only there to be paid and to just disagree by any means. So
the truth. In fact, one of the things I would like to just help you understand is that the definition of white supremacy, do you know what the definition of white supremacy is? It's when you feel like equality is oppression. And for some reason, it gets so entangled because people just simply want equality, and you feel like that's taking away something from you. I'm not dare saying that anybody at this table is a white supremacist, but what I am trying to do is at least educate you on what the truth is. And so we both come from different, we want the same America for our children, but we come from different places. We don't necessarily want equality. Some of us just want equity, right? And all I'm saying about Caitlin Clark
That's a different statement.
All I'm saying about it's not a different statement. All I'm saying about Caitlin Clark is this. I have a bias against Caitlin Clark.
Yes,
just innately.
you have said it, yes.
And I wanted to be extremely clear because I'm a South Carolina Gamecock fan, and she took away one championship from us. But I also recognize that Caitlin Clark knows something. That this is the second point. The first point was my truth. The second point is, Scott, you cannot denigrate. You cannot simply say that Dawn Staley and Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Swoops and all these women who do something insanely better than all of us at this table did not build anything that you can't respect. Yet the league wasn't built in a way that would make money. That's not what it is.
That's not what it was for.
But these ladies gave their all. The Sue Birds of the world. I mean, we don't even talk about the.
You can go down the list.
But you can go down the list. And so that's my only point. But I'm hoping that you're able to understand that.
And right there, Bakari hit that on the nail. And once again, like, this is a beautiful example to where you don't have to agree with everything someone like Bakari says when it comes to, a million conversations. But right there, that's facts. That's bars. You can't debunk that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, the WNBA didn't start last year. It didn't start when Caitlin jumped on the basketball field. That's not how that happens. But once again, if that is a white supremacy talking point to where anything that feels like equality feels like you're taking away from them, then that's a problem. And if that's a talking point that people are just spouting out and not understanding, that's even a bigger problem, because now you're adopting an ideology that you know nothing about, and you're fighting their battles for them. So, hey, I got to give props to Bakari right there.
But Scott, you're saying, but Scott, but Scott, it's disrespectful for you to say what have they built. There are little children right now, little girls at home hoping that they can play in what they call the WNBA. And the reason why it's still up and still running, whether it's losing money or not, is because of these black women who are in this.
Wasn't it because of the investors?
No, Scott, stop it. Stop it now.
It's not. I was in Dickey's arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Dickey's arena. Let me just tell you, I was in Dickey's arena on Sunday because I travel, follow my Gamecocks basketball. Something fascinating happened. Dickey's arena, TCU, right? Haley Van Lith. They averaged 3,000 people a game.
Yeah.
The Gamecocks came to town with Dawn Staley. You had 9,000 people in Dickey's arena. You know who benefits from that? The concession workers, the city, etc. After the game, hundreds of people around there just to shake Dawn Staley's hand. What you have to understand, and we have to get out of this, is there's a level of empathy that we have to have and understanding that we have to have, and we have to just stop being so abrasive, caught in these social media moments when we're talking about issues of race.
This is exactly what I was about to say, which is that, listen, Jeff and Scott, my dear colleagues, you don't have to defend this.
You don't.
Okay?
You could just say
it
it's
doesn't
good.
have to be.
Defend what?
You know, the idea that Caitlin Clark should be denigrated for simply saying that she entered a league that other players who came before her were black, helped build. There's nothing controversial about that, and it doesn't need to be.
It feels so bland.
Yeah, she
it's
doesn't
like
need to
bland
be.
and gracious.
Why are people attacking her for that? I don't understand.
I don't know. I feel like it says more about the people who are getting offended by it
Yeah.
than
That's
her.
what I just said.
I think they're just disappointed that she appears to have been captured by the woke
You
mob.
don't like
She's
the
like
word.
being gracious.
Hold on
the
one
dis-
second.
here's the
She's like being
disappointment.
White
gracious
privilege.
and
Did
saying-
he just really blame this on the woke mob? Where? Why? How? What proof do you have that she was kidnapped and tortured and just beaten and then just like mesmerized and like hypnotized by wokeness? Once again, why can't that just be how she feels? Her opinion. But damn it, like I keep saying, these bad faith actors make these kind of conversations like she said, nothing into something. You don't always have to defend every single point if it doesn't perfectly align with what you believe. Now, if it's something, crazy, just out of pocket, then yeah. But this right here, come on, guys. I would hope we can do better, but unfortunately,
Hold on one
Let him
second.
articulate this because I want to learn something.
I feel a little bad for her because she's going to learn that it will never be enough. No matter how much of the phrasing, no matter how much of the groveling you do, it will never be enough for the people in that league that hate her guts. It
Why
will
do
never
you
satisfy.
assume
They hate her
that
guts.
why do
Yes,
you
they do.
assume
They
that
do
she
not.
is trying to pander? Isn't it
Because
also
I hear the
Scott-
language. It's the language of the
Scott,
pandering.
listen, let's get off the internet for 1 second. Everybody, right? This is not a conversation about wokeness, about my truth, about all that stuff. Okay, I know that these are buzzwords on the internet. This is a young woman who's working in a league where she has colleagues. She said something about her place in that league. Why do you think automatically that it can't
So
possibly be
it's
genuine?
the
I don't
equivalent of
understand.
me saying, you know why I wanted to be a journalist? Because I saw Barbara Walters on television. Because I saw someone that I really admired and I liked the way she stood up for herself. It's the equivalent of me saying, you know who else I like? And go down a list of women who don't look like me, who do exactly what I do now, who gave me the dream, who gave me the opportunity. No one's offended by that statement because I am talking about the work ethic, I'm talking about the quality of what they do, and I'm talking about the ability to see the dream, and it is possible. She grew up watching Maya Moore, who happens to be black. And she said, when I saw Maya Moore, and my dad would drive me an hour away to see Maya Moore play, I was like, is this a real thing? Can I live in this world?
It's
All right,
no
wait.
different.
All right, let me let you get the very last word. We
Well,
gotta go.
it's a good question. When I hear the phrase white privilege, sports is the one place where nobody on the field has any privilege at all. She doesn't get extra points when she shoots because she's white. She gets the same number of points as anybody else. Sports is the great equalizer, and it just felt like to a lot of people that she was groveling for no reason because she is an amazing player who deserves all the accolades she's getting right now for doing what she's doing for women's
acknowledging her
basketball.
truth.
So, like I said, no one is arguing that, and if you listen to her, I guess kind of sit down her interview when she did express this, she wasn't groveling. She wasn't bending the knee to nobody. She was simply stating those who came before her built this industry to where she can now build her name, build her brand, and make money and enjoy the sport that she grew up watching. There's nothing wrong with that. But of course, Republicans, it is literally their superpower to come up with something out of nothing to make an argument. And when it's about race, they have to be there. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just a headache. And if we continue to have these pointless, senseless conversations that just can't come up to a conclusion within that, 10, 15 minutes, then what the hell are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? But like always, if you guys agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below or hit that Discord button so we can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.